I'm Tom O'Donoghue. I'm from HSC Hub, and we make online video tutorials for high school students in New South Wales. We started HSC Hub almost 2.5 years ago now, and it was really with the simple idea of trying to make great education a lot more accessible to students. We were tutoring quite a large amount of students at that time as well, but even still in the small groups we were doing, those sessions added up to quite an unaffordable cost for most people after a certain amount of time. And yet the benefit and the impact that we were having for some of the students that we were working with was really quite strong in terms of results as well. So we naturally thought HSC Hub would be a great way of making that content available to students wherever and whenever they needed that. At the end of the day, education in Australia is going to be an incredibly fundamental part of our nation's competitive advantage, especially as we move forward into more technical skilled roles in the 21st century. Essentially, it's just a way of sharing the knowledge that everyone has as they go through learning something as well. So at the end of the day, learning is not just about the content, but it's also about learning how that's applied to the problems that you need to solve, and how do you learn that in an efficient, engaging way to make sense to you. So sometimes there's one way to teach that works well, sometimes there's many ways, and sometimes people need a little bit of extra help. So getting another voice in there, and especially from someone who's been there and done it before and has that experience, is always going to be a valuable addition to anyone trying to learn something. Education businesses are massively important in terms of pushing forward the envelope of what education can be and what it is in Australia. So school, it looks quite a lot like it did 200 years ago. Not much has changed in terms of the classroom as well. There's still a teacher teaching in front of a whiteboard or a blackboard and in front of a small group of students as well. So although that's tried and true, there's probably some great innovations out there waiting to happen. And education businesses that aren't locked into that, physical sort of 8 o'clock to 3 p.m. and in one small classroom can hopefully take advantage of some of the new things going on in technology to really push the needle. Education Week is probably a great opportunity for people outside the education space even to start to get engaged with what's going on in education. So as much as it hasn't changed in a while, there still is some great innovation going on in that space. And although it's not necessarily always the sexiest of industries as well, it's really important that everyone kind of gets involved, because at the end of the day, everyone's impacted by it, whether that be in your own students or your own children's education and how they go through school. But at the end of the day, everyone that's going to be a participant in our economy and all the next generation of tax-paying citizens is going through this, and a large fraction of our tax dollars is going into it. So it's important that we not only get it right, but continually try and make it better.